Hi guys, this is Jared and welcome to my YouTube channel. I talk about spiritual and esoteric and strange experiences and hopefully give you guys some insight into how you can help pursue your own spiritual awakening, understanding of self, that kind of thing. So I'm going to do another Mandela effect video today. And this is a possible technique that you can use to help you understand your own timeline, because when we experience a reality shift, we're experiencing a shift in time. We all have our own individual timelines, our own projected timelines. I explained this in my last video when I talked a little bit about how we project our thoughts, create our reality, and that projects into our timeline. We have a collective timeline as in the human species, and obviously an individual timeline. And this is a technique that I've used to, it's what I call spiritual time travel. And you can actually psychically do this with a friend or a partner. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to show you how to do it for yourself. So what I started doing this about 10 years ago. It was around about 2006 when I did it. I did it as an experiment with a friend, and I went back to a time in my childhood and described something, a building that the family member I was practicing with was currently working at. And at one point that building was a school. It was still a school when he was working there, but it was a different kind of school. It was a school for the visually impaired when I was working there, as a child, and I think it was a school for like other disabilities when he was working there. So essentially this is something that you can do with a little bit of practice. I've done this with other people, and I've done this on paranormal investigations as well. So essentially what you need to do first of all is to achieve a kind of meditative state. So achieve a still mind, okay, and achieve just master your breathing, okay. It's very good to learn a grounding and protecting technique before you do this. There's a few, I know I've gone through one on this channel, and you can just have a look online. There's plenty of other good grounding and protecting meditations online, which helps you center yourself. It's good to be centered, and obviously because you're opening up to any other energies, it's good to sort of go through like a protection cleansing process, so that you're making sure that your energies are your energies, and you're kind of keeping them sort of within yourself for the work that you're doing. And it is kind of like, I call it work, I suppose, but it is kind of work on yourself. It's an exercise to help you understand yourself. So what I do, I generally start with a deep breathing technique. So start with taking some nice deep breaths, breathing in. When you breathe in, visualize yourself breathing in white light. And when you breathe out, just let go of that, any negativity in your body, okay? So any worries, any aches and pains, just imagine it come out your mouth as like black smoke, alright? And just get yourself into a nice, stable, just nice peaceful state, almost like a daydreaming state. That's kind of the state of mind you want to achieve. It's almost like a daydream, okay? And then what you need to do is focus on a memory in your life. So focus on a time in your life. Childhood for me worked really well because of the physical changes. And when I first done this, I went back to a time in childhood, and it works well when you go back to a childhood memory. You don't have to go for a specific memory, just go back to a time. So you can pick an age, like when I was 8 or something, or when I was 5 years old, and start just to let your mind drift and bring in imagery. Now the quest, what you don't want to be doing here is trying to do it. You just want to let it happen. You want to let it go organically, okay? And just let your mind wander back to a time when you were 8, all right? Or 10 or 5, or go back to a certain age, okay? And just let the memory form in your mind, all right? But when the memory starts to form in your mind and you start to sort of feel and sort of get a handle on what your mind is showing you, okay? Start to become aware. Bring yourself into that moment, so as if you were there. So become aware of what your body felt like at that time. So this is why childhood is really good, because obviously your body's going to be smaller. So your legs are going to be closer. Your arms are going to be shorter, you know. So bring yourself aware of your body and start asking yourself the question, what does my body feel like to me? How does my body feel? And when you start getting that connection with how your body felt then, okay, start then looking around the surroundings, alright? Start looking around who's with you in that memory. When I did it, I was went to a memory was at an auntie's house, and I realised I was just first of all I could see I was in a long room, and I could see there's people around me, and I could feel that they were familiar energies. One of them was my grandmother, and a light caught my eye, and I was like, what's this light? And I focused in, so focused then on a specific object in the room, or a specific person, or specific conversation. You might even start to hear sounds and start to hear things. You might start to get visuals. So focusing on an aspect of that. So you're moving your awareness now from the body into the environment in which you're in. For me, with this first experience, and I remember it very clearly, it was light, the sunlight reflecting off my grandmother's glasses. And then you can bring yourself in to that time completely, and sort of just almost like you go through like a reliving of that memory. And then once you've done that and spent time in that memory, you can bring your attention then forward and pick a time later on. So you kind of got used to the energetic, the sort of vibration that you're working with, that vibration of you at that specific time. So then you can bring yourself forward. When you get yourself used to the environment and the room that you're in, you bring yourself forward, and this sometimes you can jump to a random memory. Some people, when I've done this exercise with some people, they generally they can jump forward to a random age, and eventually you kind of get used to the energy of sort of moving forward with your mind. Kind of almost like scanning your timeline. For me, I went a little bit later on, about 15 years later, and I was at another family gathering, but it was at the time I'd started my business, which I was running at the time. So it was about 2 or 3 years previous to me actually doing this experiment. And you can get physical sensations from it as well. So my stepdad was congratulating me about something, and he put his arm on my shoulder and just squeezed my shoulder, and I was like, I could actually feel that again. I could feel it again. And the reason why I'm attributing this to the Mandela effect is because it's a technique that you can use to understand why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. Like, for example, if you take a look back to a time that for example, you have the experience of something shifting. You can, I don't know, for example, you spot something. So it kind of works the best when you actually realise something without obviously scanning YouTube videos or that kind of thing. It's when it actually happens to you, because it's kind of like the intellectual way of noticing it, and then when you actually notice something yourself. When you notice something yourself, there's an energy to it. It's almost like a feeling, a vibration to it. And that's the kind of part I want to kind of explore, is when you yourself spot a Mandela effect without any other outside influences, or when you're having what I call, and I mentioned this in my last video, personal reality shifts. So when that happens, so let's say, for example, let's take the Febreze, the spelling of Febreze, and you kind of you see a bottle of Febreze and you suddenly have that realization, hang on, that's spelt wrong. That just does not look right. And there's a feeling that goes with it. And when you've experienced it, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a feeling that goes with it. There's an energy. There's an emotional reaction to it. And that's what you can use this exercise for, is you can take yourself back to a time where you remember it being a certain way, that spelling being a certain way. And you can almost look then and see what's changed. What are the other things around you that have changed? What are the other things that are manifesting themselves? The things you're not taking notice of. So that's basically the exercise. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Do you want me to do a meditation? I can do a meditation video where I actually do a guided meditation and show you how to do it. That's no problem. We can sort that out. Let me know if you have any questions. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes in the comment section below. To check out some other Mandela Effect videos and some other spiritual and esoteric videos, you can take a look at the left hand side of the screen now, and on the right hand side of the screen you can subscribe to the channel or check out our Paranormal Evidence channel, which is run by Paranormal Now, a good friend of mine, Richard Oliver. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you again soon for another video. You take care of yourselves. Oh, and like, comment, share, subscribe. Have fun. Look forward to talking to you all. Bye.